two stores. The inventors thought it was brilliant. They began experimenting with using bubble wrap to insulate and protect various objects. While the product showed promise, getting the air pocket size just right proved tricky. Their thicker version, called Bubble Wrap No. 3, provided decent insulation. But to improve sales, they needed to create thinner variations too, and in 1961, they hit upon a breakthrough. Their new process produced a lighter, more compact form of bubble wrap, solving a problem they didn't even know existed. Next, they needed customers, and for that, they turned to the place where new technology was embraced faster than anywhere else: NASA. The space program was booming, and anything that could help protect delicate instruments in space travel would be worth investing in. They approached NASA and offered to insulate sensitive instruments with their new product. At first, NASA was impressed by bubble wrap's lightness and insulating properties. It seemed like the perfect solution, but when the product arrived at the Cape, it failed the tests. The flimsy bubble wrap couldn't withstand the harsh conditions of space. To make matters worse, NASA spread the word about their disappointment with the product. Suddenly, everyone heard the news. Bubble wrap couldn't cut it for space. For the inventors, this was another setback. They poured their hearts into their creation, and now it was seen as a dud. But instead of giving up, they searched for other solutions. They realized the issue wasn't the product itself, but how they were using it. Bubble wrap needed to be stronger, so they returned to the drawing board. This time they added a layer of polyethylene to give the material more strength. Voila! Now it was more durable, still lightweight. And just as they were about to celebrate, disaster struck. One of their prototypes ripped, and under a microscope, they discovered why the inner plastic bubble had torn. It was a tough problem, but Alfred Fielding, the lead inventor, refused to quit. He continued working tirelessly, tweaking and testing, pushing and pulling until he found the answer. He needed a new heat sealant that wouldn't trip the inner bubble. It took months, but eventually he developed one. The sealant was tougher, holding the bubble intact. And once they made that change, everything shifted. In 1961, Sealed Air Corporation, the parent company of Bubble Wrap, set up shop in New Jersey. The same year, they patented their tough new material. By 1964, they had a product that could handle the rigors of space travel and, more importantly, get it mass-produced. The goal now was to find the right customer. Section 3. From failure to global success. Enter IBM. In 1960, the company was preparing to ship its newest product, the IBM 1401 computer. These machines were massive, very expensive, and extremely delicate. Shipping them safely was a constant headache. That's where Bowers comes in. He saw an opportunity. He contacted IBM and offered to protect their computers with bubble wrap. Excited to hear about a new solution, the executives agreed to test it. Bowers carefully wrapped an expensive computer part and sent it on its way. When it arrived, the team inspected it. To their relief, it was unharmed. IBM jumped at the chance to protect their valuable cargo. They ordered thousands of rolls of bubble wrap, and soon, word spread throughout the industry. Other companies had similar needs. Fragile electronics, lenses, machinery, even precious works of art, all of them needed bubble wrap. In the 1970s, bubble wrap really took off. People used it not only for packaging, but for fun. There was something irresistible about pressing those tiny bubbles until they popped. Kids loved it. Adults loved it. It became both practical and oddly entertaining. Sealed Air Corporation grew into a multi-billion-dollar company. What started as failed wallpaper became an empire built on packaging, logistics, and protection. And the rest, as they say, is history. So tonight, as you drift off to dreamland, think about those little bubbles, tiny cushions of air that almost never existed and yet ended up protecting the world's treasures. And here's the best part. Bubble wrap story shows us that sometimes the greatest inventions come from unexpected places. Just because something doesn't work for one thing doesn't mean it's useless. With a little creativity, anything can find its purpose. So next time you see a roll of bubble wrap, remember the story inside. Remember the story of the wallpaper that saved the world. Thank you for watching. Now let me ask you, have you ever used bubble wrap for something creative or funny? Share your ideas below. We'd love to hear them. Also, don't forget to follow for more stories about innovation, inventions, and entrepreneurship. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and share it with someone who might also like it. Your support helps us continue bringing you great content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.